to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of September 9th. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And Terri Morrow.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today is Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing about parenting details, big and small. For example, like all the great ways we have found to mortify our children.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So, Terri, you have a story for us. What are you doing to mortify your children this week?
Yeah. Usually all I have to do is mortify my children is sing, not even in public, just around the house. But recently I had a package delivery at my home of a Cologuard kit, which those of you who are elderly like me will know is the alternative to a colonoscopy, by which you can proffer a sample in the comfort of your own home and mail it someplace, and maybe they'll tell you correctly whether you have colon cancer or not, or maybe they'll get it wrong, but still, you won't have to have a colonoscopy. So I have been putting this procedure off for many, many years, and when this alternative arose, I said, I'll do that. And they said, well, really, the colonoscopy is better. And I said, well, it's not a choice between those two things. It's a choice between the kit and nothing. So we went with the kit. But I hadn't really thought it through, what that was going to be like. And it comes to your house with a little cartoon colon guy on the side. And it's this, you open the box. And you have to open the box a certain way because you're going to have to close the box and send your sample back by UPS, which I'm sure the UPS guys love that they got that contract. Brings a whole new meaning to Brown. But still, so you open it up and then there's a Ziploc bag, and inside is this rack that goes across your toilet, and then a honestly, I would call it a crock that goes into which you deliver, and then a test tube into which you have to put some of the sample, and then a bottle of preservative solution that you have to pour in, and then you put the lid on and you tighten it. And you put it all back in the box, you zip the zip closed bag, you glue it back down, and you call UPS, or you take it to your local UPS place, which I'm not quite sure I can do that with. I have a house full of young people who are extremely curious when anything is delivered. It's like a party. Ooh, what came? Who's it for? What'd you get? So I took great joy in saying, ooh, children, let me tell you what this is. And I said to my son, after I'm done, you and Pop can take it to the UPS place. And he goes, nope, not me. Nope. But then today, when I told him I was going to try to utilize the kit, he was on. I was, after I took him to work, I was going to do this, and he said, make sure to let my sister know when you do that, okay?
Since she's going to be home
and
I'm not.
So she could be horrified, just as he was by the very discussion. There's been rather more discussion of the topic. It just cracked me up when I got this thing. It's just hilarious. And I'm finding it to be less hilarious when you actually try to use it because, it is not as comfortable as it seems like it's going to be when you take it out of the box. And I am finding that, as with other sorts of samples, I have a shy bladder. I apparently also have a shy bowel. So this is getting difficult. But even just this thing that we're talking about here now would mortify my children.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing the podcast will mortify my children. If you have children near you and you want to mortify them, play our podcast somewhere where they can hear it. Old people talking about...
Old people things.
Old people things, exactly. This was not something that came in the mail when I was 30, let's just say.
Right.
So I've been having a lot of fun with just kind of leaving that out for everybody to see.
Taunting them.
Empty.
I'm glad that you're having fun with it.
Yeah. The idea of it is a lot more fun than the actual fact, unfortunately. Although they send you this kit and then they send you a letter in the mail saying, "Wee, you should have gotten this kit. Let's talk about this kit." And then it says somebody was going to call me on the phone. So so I expected a human would call me on the phone and say, "Wee, you got this kit. Do you have any questions?" But instead I got this robocall saying they were from Cologuard. It's about your kit. Are you this person? And they said my name, and I said yes. And then they say to to protect your privacy, we have to make sure it's really you. Please input your birth date on your phone keypad. And I'm like, this seems like a scam. I mean, I don't know how they would know that I had this kit, but I don't just put my birth date in a robocall. So I hung up and I yelled at them on their Facebook page that that's a very bad user experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have it be putting the serial number of your kit or something like that.
Yeah.
They could prove your identity. Because these days, I mean, it's not impossible that some scammer could just call up a million people and say, this is about your collar guard kit, and if you don't have one, you hang up.
Yeah.
And if you do, you would go, oh, well, this is legit, and give them your personal information.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So this is the world we live in. Nobody trusts anybody. But we poop in a box and mail it away.
We poop in a box.
Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam.
That's right. Who knows what they're going to do with that sample? Anyway. So what have you been mortifying your young people with this week? Surely nothing is delightful as
Not
mine.
as good as
Oh.
A literal crock of bleep is what I have here.
I did, this wasn't this week, but recently, my son is starting high school, and so he's in some new activities, and for one of them, he had to go in and be measured for his costume, for his uniform that he's going to be wearing. And, this is a brand new thing for our family. Like, he hasn't been in this before, and so it was like, come to the high school at this time and come and get measured. And I wanted to go inside because I'd never met the teacher who runs it, and I didn't know if parents were supposed to come in. He's like, please don't come in. And then I went in anyway. And then he basically shoved me out the door. Once we got in there, and there really weren't other parents there, so I was forced to leave. And then that reminded me that on the orientation for the school, they had a big meeting in the auditorium, and then, we were free to roam around the school, and the kids could look, walk through their schedule and find their rooms and stuff. And this kid walked 40 miles an hour so that I would so he could lose me, basically. He was like,
oh, goodness.
I just want to go in the friends that I need. So, yeah.
See, that's the point at which I start, singing, humming, whistling.
In the middle of the high school.
Honey,
with all the
I'm over here.
In case you couldn't find me, I'm just
lick your finger and fix their hair. And it's like, you want to ditch me, kiddo?
Right.
I'll make it 100 times worse.
Yeah.
Have you seen my son? He was here somewhere. Honey,
I
where are
should have
you?
consulted you for your tips before I went to this event, obviously.
You want a negotiation to be able to ensue.
Right.
Stop ruining my life is what I hear quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, but it's so much fun.
But I enjoy it so much.
Nicole, did you do mortifying things just to make your daughter glad when you left?
Yeah, I was going to say, in this week's edition of Mortifying Your Kids when they're in college,
Yes.
apparently, I FaceTimed my daughter and I talked too loud. And her roommate...
Mom, people can hear you.
Exactly. My God, Mom, my roommates can hear you, because I was asking about the roommates, of course. Okay, so who's the bitchy one? Who's the one that, da-da-da-da-da.
That you said this about.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get a lowdown, and she's like, Mom, you're so loud.
This is what headphones are for, honey.
Yeah, so I think she figured that out the next time I spoke with her.
So is that worse than her dad calling her at 5 a.m. because she was in a bush?
that was a little worse. I was breaking some kind of volume control code or something.
Dear.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Some FaceTime volume control.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't put your phone on speakerphone when you were talking to somebody in your room, so neither should you be FaceTiming without headphones.
Yeah, so she learned that.
It's perfectly simple.
I mean, I was just chatting. I didn't, it wasn't my problem on my end. She's the one that
you didn't know the roommate was there.
So she was the one that needed to deal with that. So anyway, so that was my latest infraction.
We're so bad. I wonder where talking about them on podcasts fits in the list of mortifying things.
Oh, if she only knew.
What they don't know could possibly hurt them, but let's just keep it between us and all our listeners.
None of her friends come across our podcast.
Oh, we were talking about somebody else. We just make up children.
I have another daughter that you don't know about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
No, so my son, he's not so much phased as much anymore.
Yeah.
He just kind of, whatever. But my daughter is definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. She gets a little bit more rattled.
Ripe for mortifying. It's so much fun. Well, before we get ourselves into any more trouble, we probably should say, that's it for today's Round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundabout roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout-out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. Tell us all the ways you've been mortifying your kids, or just say something embarrassing that will mortify them just through that. We're waiting for some solidarity here.